So now we're going to get into the MEND program. The second part of the MEND program is exercise. And so I'm feeling like since we're going to be sitting here together for a while, that this would be a good time to just kind of get up and just move about just a bit. I am going to see, well, let me stop my video. Okay, so I'm going to stretch and I'm going to ask you to stretch and stand up if that's possible for you and just climb an invisible rope. Just get out of that mid body, a little bit of climbing and let that go. And then put your hands right in the front of your upper thighs where your hip bend is. And just bend from the waist and only go as far as is comfortable for you. Tighten your abs. We're not going to bend all the way over. We're not going to touch our toes. We're just going to bend until your chest is parallel with the floor. And you'll probably feel a little stretch in the back of your thighs and that hamstring muscle. And then tighten your thigh muscles and tighten your gluteals and just squeeze yourself up, keeping your back straight, squeezing up like you're squeezing a tube of toothpaste. And then bring your arms up overhead again, inhaling. Inhale, inhale, inhale. And let it go, maybe with a nice sigh. Ah. And then one more time. Inhale. And then let it go. Ah. Okay. Now let's be seated. And there we go. Okay. This is the Magical MEND program. Meditation, exercise, nourishment, and detoxification. Now, I don't know if you had a grandmother or a great-grandmother like I did who could sew. It's kind of a lost art, but my grandmother could take any kind of ripped garment, anything that's got a hole or, missing some kind of part, and with her needle and thread, she could make it like new. In many cases, you couldn't even tell that garment had been mended. And it occurred to me, thinking about what she could do with a needle and thread, what if we could mend our lives? Mend our ways is the phrase, so that it would kind of hit a delete button on the stuff that we used to eat and drink and do. Well, there is a way. And this is it encapsulated: meditation, exercise, nourishment, and detox. So we are going to jump into that. Now, when I talk about meditation, it's not necessarily formal meditation, although that's what the scientific studies have been done on. But I think it's whatever floats your boat. So anything that is internal and focus, because meditation is really nothing but focusing your mind on a single point. It's a concentration practice. And when you get good at it, and that concentration no longer requires effort, then it becomes meditation. So you've got the list here of all the amazing things that it does, but I would like to draw your attention to the final one where it says makes you younger. So there is a wonderful study and others that are similar, but this one I love because it's so clear, where they looked at people who had been meditating regularly for 5 years or more and compared them to people who didn't meditate. And they found that the meditators were 12 years younger physiologically than the people who didn't meditate. So what they were looking at in terms of physiological aging was body mass index, muscle to fat. They looked at cholesterol, HDL and LDL. They looked at joint flexibility, at hearing, at vision. And in all of these ways, these meditators averaged 12 years younger. So let's do a little mental exercise. Subtract 12 from your current age. Okay, got it? Regardless of your age, if you're 30 or if you're 90, subtracting 12 is a big deal. They say that when you stop smoking, you get back 7 years. This is sitting quietly twice a day, and you get 12 years of health. So I think it's worth looking into, don't you? This is my sweet dog Forbes, who's no longer with us, but in spirit. You can see him behind me too. So it's very simple. Sometimes people are intimidated because it sounds foreign, or it sounds like maybe it's something religious, or it's something you have to take an expensive course to do. You really don't, because the fact is you meditate a lot. Like, for example, if you've ever done any kind of adventure sport, if you've ever driven a motorcycle, these things where you have to focus, or there could be a dangerous outcome, that's the same process that's meditation. It's really just focus. So you're going to set aside the time. That's the most important thing. Anything that you want to do, you'll do if you make it an appointment. If somebody else was involved, you'd show up, but you're involved, so show up. So morning and late afternoon are wonderful times to do this. So you find your time and you sit, and you can sit cross-legged like a yogi. And lots of times when I do that, I still want to lean against something. So I'll sit on my bed, lean against the wall, or sitting on the floor, just something behind you. It's good to strengthen your back. We're going to be talking about exercise in a minute. But when you're meditating, you want to be really, really comfortable. In fact, the whole practice of yoga asana, the movement parts of yoga, were developed so that people could spend time in meditation. So you close your eyes, and then you watch your breath. Now, to just watch your breath and not do anything else is a kind of meditation. It's called Vipassana, or insight meditation. It's a Buddhist system. I need a little bit more entertainment. And so I like to do a mantra meditation, which means using a word or a phrase. So if you're not into the yoga thing and you're not cool with something like Om Shanti, that is absolutely fine. How about all is well? You get a little affirmation action going with the meditation. So you inhale all is, and you exhale well. And chances are your monkey mind is going to say, well, all is not well because you've got this problem and this problem and this problem. All is well. And the monkey mind will say, well, that's what you think. Haven't you listened to CNN today? Don't you know how awful everything is in the world? All is well. And over time, that mind that is chattering is just going to quiet down. Now, does it mean that you have no thoughts? A lot of people say, oh, meditation, that's when you're not thinking anything. You're always thinking something. That is the nature of the mind. That's why we have the breath, or the mantra, the word, or the phrase as a point of focus. Because focusing on nothing is saying, don't think of a pink elephant. It's not going to work. So how long? Most of these studies, almost all the early studies, were done on transcendental meditation, which is 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes in the late afternoon or early evening. And I used to think if I had 40 minutes a day free, I wouldn't need to meditate. I'd already be calm and peaceful. So work it out for yourself. Maybe 5 minutes to start with, if you've never done it before, is all you can handle. So do 5 minutes, but do it every day. Do it every day for a month. Morning, ideally. If you can't handle twice a day, start with morning. 5 minutes for 30 days, 10 minutes, 30 days. Then 15 for maybe 60 days, and see if you can work up to 20. It's a wonderful, wonderful practice to put into your life.